Okay, students, so let's go finish these notes with some good old algebra, all right? So again, we did stuff like this yesterday. Let's just emphasize the stuff we have and figure out where to go from there, all right? Because this is goofy. What the heck is this shape? This is actually some kind of pentagon. And we have all kinds of, this is an irregular pentagon. And we have all these lines going all over the place, parallel lines, so on and so forth. But again, if I just emphasize this left stuff, the parallel lines and this left stuff, it turns out that, boom, 60 degrees, 3x, they're corresponding angles. I'm going to be using the corresponding angles postulate just to say, well, 3x equals 60. Okay? So then divide both sides by 3, and x equals 20. Not bad at all. And same punchline over here. Emphasizing that, it just turns out that this angle and that angle, 5y minus 5, 135. Turns out they're consecutive interior angles. What do I know about consecutive interior angles? Well, I know that they are supplementary. So I'm going to set them equal to 180. And then a bunch of math is going to occur. 5y equals 50. And y equals 10. Okay, that's that problem right there. All right, now, what should we do about this problem? All right, so this one, we're actually going to focus on the triangle first. All right, so we know that the triangle adds up to 180. Right, you've learned that in previous classes. We kind of mentioned and talked about, explained how we know that works briefly, a summary of that. But in this triangle, we know that all the angles add up to 180. So we're going to focus on that. And remember, this is 90 degrees. So I'm just going to take all these angles inside the triangle and set them equal to 180. I'm going to get 3y plus 144 equals 180. Subtract 144 from both sides. I can say, oops, what? I wrote 444. Oopsies. 144. 3y equals 36. Divide both sides by 3. And y equals 12. All right. And then there's a couple ways to do this problem. All right. The easiest, slickest way probably to do it is what I'm going to pick, is let's just emphasize the parallel lines and the transversal. 4x, 52. What do we know about them? We know that 4x and 52 are alternate interior angles. What do we know about alternate interior angles? They're congruent, so they have equal measures. So I can do a bunch of, you can set them equal to each other, and eventually x will equal 13. Nice. All right. Okay. So let's do this problem over here. Let me think about how I want to do this problem. Okay. So let's focus on x first. We have these parallel lines cut by a transversal, 14x minus 10, and 5x. They're on the same side of the transversal, they're on the inside of the parallel lines, so they're consecutive interior angles, so they're supplementary. So I'm allowed to say 14x minus 10 plus 5x equals 180. So I'm allowed to say combine like terms, 19x minus 10 equals 180. Add 10 to both sides, 19x equals 190. Divide both sides by 19, and x equals 10. All right, I'll pause there for a moment. And this is a nice, juicy problem. What do I mean about how this is a nice, juicy problem? Well, now we got to focus on the y's, or the y itself. All right, we got this parallel lines and this transversal here. All right, so 2y. Well, I don't know what's going on. I can't directly relate it to 14x minus 10. I can't directly relate it to 5x. All right, I just can't say it's congruent to 5x. It might be. All right, but I can't just blindly say that. All right, what I can say is, well, we have vertical angles right here. So remember, vertical angles are so powerful. If you're able to identify them, in a case like this, it makes the problem manageable. Why? Because now I know 2y and 14x minus 10, they're consecutive interior angles again, and they're supplementary again. All right, just to emphasize, we have this transversal right here, we have these parallel lines, they're on the same side inside, so that's why they're consecutive interior angles. So I'm allowed to say 2y plus 14x minus 10 equals 180. And furthermore, x equals 10, so I'm allowed to plug in 10 for x. All right? And once I get this far, I'm in incredibly good shape. All right? Because then it's just a bunch of math calculations solving for y. 14 times 10 minus 10. I'm going to do math simplification. A miracle occurred, a bunch of math happened, and we get 130 equals 180. So I'm going to subtract 130 from both sides. And 2y equals 50. Divide both sides by 2. And y equals 25. That was probably the hardest problem we've done so far. From yesterday and today, I would say out of the algebra problems from phase 1 and phase 2, that was the hardest one. All right. But we're pumped up and we're happy. We'll draw SpongeBob SquarePants. He's ready for more. All right, SpongeBob says, I'm ready for more. Okay, this problem right here, we did something similar to it in phase 1 yesterday. So again, if you felt good yesterday, you're gonna feel even gooder today. If you felt bad yesterday, don't worry, you're still going to feel better today. All right, so let's focus on these angles. 150 and 5x minus y are consecutive interior angles. They're supplementary. So I'm going to set up my first equation as 150 plus 5x minus y equals 180. Remember, you can't simplify that, or you can simplify it, but you can't specifically solve for any variable and get a number, because there's two of them. All right, what we got to do is then focus over here, and these angles are also consecutive interior angles. 5x plus y and 130. Consecutive interior angles, they're supplementary. So the second equation I'm going to set up is 5x plus y plus 130 equals 180. All right. And then from here, we had last year you learned substitution, you learned elimination. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to write it up here. I'm just going to take both equations. So I'm going to take 150 plus 5x minus y equals 180. And I'm going to add it to equation 2. All right. So my like terms aren't matched up. That's okay. I can just match them up. 150, 130, that's going to give me a 280. 5x and 5x is going to give me a plus 10x. Negative y plus y, cancel this out. And then I'm just left with 180 plus 180, also known as 360. All right, if I can get this equation 3, that's when I become in good shape. Things start to settle down. I know how to do this. I'm just going to subtract 280 from both sides, just trying to get x by itself, dividing both sides by 10, and x equals 8. All right, not quite done yet. Why? it told me I need to solve for y. Okay, so to solve for y, all I got to do is plug it in any equation I want. I'm going to plug it in over here. I'm going to get 5 times 8 plus y plus 130 equals 180. I'm going to get 40 plus y plus 130 equals 180. I'm going to get y plus 170 equals 180, or y equals 10. All right, that's it. Some tough algebra problems, but fun nonetheless. All right, make sure you do your follow-up problems in Canvas and have a good rest of your day.